After years of wedded bliss, Nick couldn't take it any longer. Melissa, through no fault of her own, had grown up in a home without cable TV or a VCR. If that last sentence confused you, Google it. This had resulted in her having very little pop culture movie knowledge. In order to right this injustice, the duo will watch and discuss movie after movie until Melissa has caught up with the zeitgeist of her generation. Welcome to their journey. Good evening.
Hello.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I am also good. I'm excited about this week's movie.
You are?
I am.
Why?
It's been, I want to say, over a decade since I've seen it. Probably more, maybe 2 since I've seen it, yeah.
Okay.
Yes, spoilers, I've been alive 2 decades. Yeah.
Divulging.
Yeah. Do you have any idea what movie we're watching this week?
A movie that you haven't seen for a decade.
That's a good, yeah.
Top Gun. Just making a guess.
No, it's not Top Gun.
No, I don't know.
You don't know?
I don't know.
It's a film called The Dead Zone.
Oh, as in The Dead Zone by Stephen King?
Correct.
Ooh, the movie.
The movie.
Whoa.
Yeah. Do you know anything about this? You seem like you recognize it.
Yeah, well, I mean, I've read the book.
You read the book?
I read the book.
Okay.
And threw you for a loop
you
there.
Did. Yeah, you did.
And I've seen the show with Anthony Michael Hall.
AMH, okay.
AMH. And so I feel like I know quite a bit about it. But yeah, Stephen King movies. This is going to be interesting.
Yeah.
They can be a little on the campy side.
It's them. It's really them. It's Dan, sorry. Yes, they can be.
Did you like the movie?
I remember, I think I liked it. And I think you'll figure out why pretty quickly once you see it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Does that mean there's someone like special in it?
Maybe.
Uh-huh.
You want to guess what year it was made?
If you saw it a decade ago, did you see it when it came out?
I'm not giving you clues. I
I
mean, I already gave you clues, but yeah.
89.
89, okay.
That's my guess.
All right. And wow, okay. So do you remember the book at all?
Yeah, that's the question, right?
Do you remember the book?
Sort of.
Sort of.
I remember some key scenes from the book.
Okay.
And the opening.
Okay. And the ending and all the plot points.
No, I don't remember all the plot points. I don't remember a lot of details. I have this
yes.
Yeah, I have some vague recollections of the book, like being at the carnival and seeing
I don't even remember that.
Happening. Okay.
Wow, spoilers for me.
Oh dear.
I don't remember that.
Oh dear.
Okay. Cool. So we're gonna get an interesting perspective from you after you've seen it, because you can measure how it was against the book. And when did you read the book?
Oh, geez. Maybe a decade ago.
Okay. Awesome. So how are you feeling now that we're ramping up? We're about to watch it.
I'm excited.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Are you wondering why I chose this film?
I am wondering, because isn't this kind of wouldn't this be an October film, but we're not in October anymore?
I will, after you see it, I'll explain why, and hopefully it'll make sense after we see it.
Okay.
It's very timely for the season we're in right now.
Okay.
Okay.
I enjoy Stephen King.
Mm-hmm.
I'm looking forward to this. This is going to be fun.
Do you have, well, I don't know how this one works, because you've read the book. So if you had to tell someone in a word or two from your book knowledge, how would you describe this?
Oh, from the book?
Mm-hmm.
I don't remember enough to do that.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow,
yeah.
It's pretty memorable things that happen.
Well, okay. Yeah, but I mean, I like to be more in depth when I talk about books. So my
word or two
okay,
to explain your impression of the film, what you think it's going to be, because you already know the book.
Well, this is what I keep thinking about the film. Is I keep wondering, is it going to be a campy adaptation of one of his books?
Yeah.
Which sometimes they are. Or is it going to be like a scarier, more thrilling, suspenseful adaptation?
Okay.
So that's kind of what I'm going into wondering.
So suspensefully campy.
Maybe.
Would be the two words you would to just use to describe.
You really want me to say two words?
You're really bucking the system this go round.
Yes, I am.
I'm going to go with suspensefully campy.
Okay.
All right. Well, let's go check it out.
Yeah. Woohoo.
Hello.
Hello.
I feel there are times when we're doing this podcast where I wish we were filming it. And this is one instance where I would have said hello to you and shook your hand. And then I would have like looked off into the distance and I would have started shaking when I touched you.
Convulsing.
Convulsing, yeah.
That would have been good.
Yeah, that would have been great. Wow. Wow. Sorry. Yes, that's my horrible Christopher Walken impression. That also may come out. I was disappointed in myself about The Fly. I wanted to do more Jeff Goldblum, and I just didn't. So I'm probably going to disappoint myself again with Christopher Walken.
Don't hold back. If you feel like talking like Christopher Walken.
I won't.
There you go.
There we go. That's twice. That's more than the last one. So there we go.
Yay.
So The Dead Zone.
The Dead Zone. Ooh, it was good.
Really?
Why does that surprise you?
That surprises me because when we were watching it, you did not seem that enthralled or anything. I don't know.
What do you mean? Like, what do you expect me to do? Like, jump up and down while we're watching it?
I don't know.
This is amazing.
You know, well, sometimes. Well, some movies you watch and you're like, I don't know. I could just tell you. Maybe you were tired. I have no idea. I don't know. But.
Well, okay. So the pacing of the movie is slow. It's not like and that's one of the reasons we like watching movies from that time period. Yeah. It is a slower pacing.
Oh, totally.
And it's so different from movies today. But still totally enjoyable.
I think, agree. I think I remembered it being better than it was, and I was projecting onto you.
Okay.
So maybe that was it. Because this is one where I was like excited for you to see. And then as I was watching, I was like, this is pretty good. Then I was like, why was I so excited for you to see this one? Do you know why I picked this one?
Because it was a Stephen King film?
Nope.
Because of Christopher Walken?
Well, obviously.
A young Christopher Walken?
He factored into it.
He's the best part of the movie.
Yeah. Of course.
He doesn't even talk like that.
No, he doesn't. He's like a very
pre-Walken.
It kind of sounds like how I'm badly impersonating him. He's like doing a bad impersonation of himself in the movie.
No, I don't even think that. I just think he sounds more normal.
That's what I mean, though, is like someone trying to do Christopher Walken, but it doesn't sound like Christopher Walken. So he just sounded like himself, but a lot less.
Yeah.
That's what I mean by a bad impersonation. So.
Yeah, it was really cool seeing him so young.
Yeah. I loved his white man fro in the movie too. That was just the hair in the early. Oh wait, what year was this made? You cheated.
1983.
83, yep. Not 89. 89 he would have had very different hair probably than 83.
Oh, okay.
Anywho, the reason I picked the movie was because a large, huge plot line in the movie is about an election.
Oh.
And we just had our midterm elections in the U.S.
Whoa. You really go for the tie-in.
Boom. I sure do.
Well done.
Thank you. Patting myself on
nerd.
the back. Yes, I am.
Calendar nerd.
I'm a total calendar nerd. I can't help it. So now, do you want to give a quick summary of the movie? Sorry. Lots of preamble there.
Obviously, love to.
I was excited. So, yes.
Okay, so based on a Stephen King novel, if we haven't mentioned it before.
Many times.
Johnny, who's played by Christopher Walken.
Wait. During this movie, did you keep going, Johnny?
Yes, I did.
All right.
Always. So.
Which makes no sense for anybody listening.
Which is a reference to the movie Sing.
Sing 2 or Sing, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yep, the character Johnny. And also a reference to...
To what?
No, I'm going to say the title wrong.
No, say it.
Night of the Living Dead.
Oh!
Did I get it?
She scores, yes.
Yes.
The
so with our daughters,
coming to get
when
you,
I say
Barbara.
Johnny, I'm referencing that one.
Yes.
When they say Johnny, they're referencing Sing.
Yes.
Anyway.
Okay, so Summary. Johnny.
He he's a teacher and he's dating another teacher and they're pretty serious.
They're super serious, like kissing in the hall serious. Like, should we be doing this?
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And so they go on a date. They're going to the carnival. It's a great time. And
yeah, they did go to the carnival. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And then it starts raining when he says goodbye and walks her to her door. And she's like, "Can you just stay the night?"
Yeah.
And he's like, "No, better not." And she insists again, and he still says no. And he drives home in the rain. And he gets into a terrible accident.
The most tragic milk truck accident I've ever seen in my life.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
In his little Volkswagen car. He has like no chance of
the VW Bug,
walking away from that.
Mm-hmm.
And so then the movie cuts to him in a hospital bed. Mm-hmm. Oh, and she visits him and he's...
They really milked that accident, by the way.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Milked it?
Yeah. Sorry.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Pun.
Okay. Sorry. Go ahead.
So then, yeah, he's in the hospital. He has tubes, and his girlfriend comes in, and she's like, "Oh, Johnny. Oh, Johnny."
Yeah, she was very. Yes,
it was emotional.
Yeah, he had a whole bunch of bandages on him. Yeah,
he was not conscious.
He was not conscious. No.
Then it cuts to 5 years later. Mm-hmm. He's waking up from a coma. He has no idea. Mm-hmm. And he learns that it's been 5 years. He's been in a coma. And he woke up from this coma with this ability to see a flash of the future when he touches someone of their future.
Yeah.
And not only that.
Well, it's not just the future, though.
The present as well.
The past, too.
The past. Oh, which one was the past?
The doctor.
Oh, yeah.
He sees like 30 or 40 years in the past.
Right. Yes, I forgot about that. Mm-hmm. So he sees flashes of someone's life. Yeah. Important moments in their life.
Yes.
And it starts to take a toll on his health.
Yeah.
Because with this great power comes like debilitating headaches, and it's like his health starts deteriorating. Mm-hmm. But it culminates with him touching the hand of a politician who's...
I think he's running for Senate or something.
Yeah, running for Senate. Mm-hmm. And he sees that this man, played by Martin Sheen.
You got it.
The right Sheen? Okay. I was like, what's Sheen? He sees that this politician is going to become a terrible like threat to the world as we know it, and like activate a nuclear bomb war. Basically create...
I thought you were just talking about his horrible silk pajamas when he was in Camp David or wherever he was with this futuristic button for the nukes. But yeah.
So he's going to activate all the nukes.
All the nukes.
Nuke the world.
Yeah.
And so he has to stop it. What can he do? He can't get to the guy.
No, Johnny can't. It's true.
So he gets a rifle. He waits in a balcony for a speech. Mm-hmm. And he makes his move. Doesn't happen the way you think it'll happen, but he does disrupt history.
Twist. Butterfly effect and all that.
Yeah. Yeah. So it again it ends abruptly because this is the big surprise.
Wait, what's the big surprise?
Who was the director of this movie, Nick?
Oh. I knew it was David Cronenberg.
And
who did The Fly.
Yes.
who's famous for body horror films, which are just like kind of gross, movies.
Which is why I was so scared to watch The Fly.
Yes. So then I promised you this movie was going to be fine. And then the first thing you saw before anything else happened was a David Cronenberg film.
I was like, what?
Yeah. Oh, that was so great. I had no idea at all. And it didn't even feel like it. There was only one part of the movie that was just a little like that. And it was super, super short. So
what part did you think? I didn't think anything felt like a Cronenberg film. Now that I've seen two.
No, there was a bad guy, and then the bad guy was dispatched in a way, that wasn't pleasant, and they showed that a bit.
Oh, okay.
So, yeah. Yeah. Shave and a haircut, 2 bits. So
I thought it was hilarious that you didn't realize it was a Cronenberg film, and you were as surprised as I was.
I had no idea. I completely forgot if I ever knew. Like, I literally probably saw this movie before I knew who that was.
Yeah.
So I probably just forgot his name, and Stephen King and Christopher Walken like stuck out in my mind so much more.
Totally.
Wow. Wow. Okay. So there's a lot going on in that movie. There's a lot. Actually, now that I'm thinking about it, I'm enjoying it more than when I watched it because I had the pressure of being excited about it, I think.
It's more like a sci-fi drama.
Oh, yeah.
If totally. I were to categorize it.
Yeah.
And it's a slow build drama.
You know what? Too, this was the part, and you could probably help with this because you read the book.
Yeah.
In the movie, they signal he has like a headache before his accident. So, like, was he starting to get his powers before then? Was he sensing he was about to have an accident but he didn't see anything? He just had the headache? Like, did they talk about that in the book at all? I haven't read the book. Okay,
so the book, my memory's foggy on the book because I think I read it way a long time ago. Mm-hmm. Actually the movie made me want to read it again.
Okay.
So it's come full circle for me.
Okay.
But I do remember in the movie, in the carnival, which was pre-accident,
yes,
there was a thing happening where they were playing a game and it was like numbers on a wheel. Mm-hmm. And he was able to kind of guess what numbers were coming in an uncanny way. Mm-hmm. And so I do think there was something before the accident. There was something already happening.
So, yeah, you wonder if it would have just occurred or naturally in him, or if the accident sped it up. You know, if like in 5 years he would have had the gift later, kind of a thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's interesting.
Another important thing about the 5-year mark is that his girlfriend, who was going to be his fiance, like they were planning to get married.
I think they were engaged. Well, yeah, he said he was going to marry her and stuff like that. So.
Yeah. She married someone else while he was in a coma. Ouch.
In her defense, he had better 80s hair than Christopher Walken. Just saying. I'm just saying.
Wow. That's all it takes.
He did. Tell me he didn't right now. I challenge you. Do you remember what his hair looked like?
No, describe his hair.
It was kind of like that feathered. I would call it feathered. It was a little longer, almost like a shaped mushroom. Like I don't know how else to describe it.
Yeah, I'd be going for him. It was shaved mushroom.
But it was wavy. It wasn't like the flat mushroom. It was like the wavy mushroom.
I think, yeah, okay, sure. That's probably why she left.
That's absolutely. Well, I mean, that and she thought he was going to be comatose the rest of his life. So then she saw this wavy mushroom-haired man and was like, wow, okay. Biological clock's ticking. Let's get this show on the road. It was the 80s, too. So, you know, she was in her 30s. That was like 80 nowadays. So
right, yeah.
Okay. Wow. How do you feel now that you watch this one? You good?
I feel like I want to read the book.
Wow. That's a new one.
I know.
You were so pleased with it. It made you want to read the book. That's not really, you love books. So that's not a huge surprise, but okay.
Awesome. I feel like the book was more in depth than the movie. The movie, it had some depth to it, but not anywhere near like the book. And so I want to revisit that. Yeah. I challenge you through all the movies we're going to watch. I challenge you to find a movie that's more in depth than a book. Okay.
And the only thing I could think of that could possibly contend with this is if we watch a Dan Brown movie. That's like the only thing I can think of. Every other book, you know, Jurassic Park, everything else, you know. So anyway, keep that in the back. File that in the back of your mind.
Sure.
In your dead zone, as they might say. So what would you rate this one for your Mel rating?
Oh, yeah. What did I say? A suspenseful sci-fi? Mm-hmm. So if you're in the mood for like a long drama or a slow build drama. Slow build drama.
Slow build drama. So if you're in the mood for a slowly paced film that has moderately interesting things, check out The Dead Zone.
Or if you ever wondered what Christopher Walken was like pre-cowbell.
Yes, that's true. Although...
What?
He was debilitated by getting in an accident with cow's milk. And then 10 years, 15 years later, he gets internet famous early internet, but SNL, the cowbell thing. Do you think that's a coincidence?
It can't be.
I don't think that's a coincidence.
This has been programmed.
Wow. It's all connected.
It's all
connected. Wow.
Do you ever feel like you're living in a simulation?
Wow. Yeah. I just go, yeah.
That sounds German all of a sudden.
Yeah? Well, I was just doing the part where he was flashing back to the German, the scene.
The war scene.
Yeah, to the war scene, exactly. Wow. How do you think this one, what did you think of Martin Sheen? You'd never seen him in a movie like this, right?
He is so intense.
Yes.
Holy cow. Like every word he says is like hurtling down a mountain at you.
Yes. Especially with this role too.
Yeah.
Like, yes, he was one scene he did like 100 push-ups or something like that at a political rally.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was super intense.
But I can't imagine anyone else playing it that well. Like he was the perfect person for this role.
Oh yeah.
Like a bottle of dynamite walking around.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He has some good roles. I think of Apocalypse Now. You've probably never seen that one either.
No.
Yeah. Apocalypse Now, adding that to the list. Man.
Is that a Vonnegut book?
I don't think so.
No? Okay.
We can get into that one a lot later. That I'll have to think about when to do that one. That's an interesting one.
You're scaring me.
I'm scaring
Let's
myself.
Shelve that one.
I'm scaring myself. Okay. So Martin Sheen, though, yes, he's intense. He actually reminds me a lot of my grandfather. Like, not the intensity, but looks like my grandfather kind of looked like that.
Yeah. The forehead.
Yes. The hairline.
Yeah.
Totally.
Yeah.
And the hair, my grandpa had a great set of hair.
Did your grandpa wear silk pajamas?
Not that I can recall.
Okay.
But I didn't know him, obviously, all of his life. So maybe when he was younger in the 80s, he did. Who knows?
Who knows?
Wow. Wow. So do you think this movie holds up well? That's a lot of... Your head is like bobbling. I'm afraid it's going to fall off your shoulders. I
don't know why I have the hardest time with this question. Because I like everything. And it's hard for me to like... it holds up okay. It's definitely... There are some movies that are slow-paced but amazing. And like The Shining pops into my mind.
Don't even... Yes.
Right.
Sorry, it's like one of my favorite movies.
Or The Royal Tenenbaums. It's like slow build sort of, but this one is slow build and feels slow build.
Which is weird because I think it's only an hour and a half. It's an hour and 43 minutes. So that's not a super long movie.
But Christopher Walken's acting is just so sweet.
Yeah.
He's just like this quiet man.
Yeah.
He's very soft-spoken. So his character is awesome to see.
Yeah.
So there's reasons to watch it, but does it... I mean, for today's audience, I don't think it would pass muster. Okay.
Fair enough. That was a well-thought response, dear.
Thank you.
I liked hearing Ichabod Crane. He was like... I just love that parallel thing they do. Like, he's the character of Ichabod Crane.
Yeah.
And then they have him like just references to the story, and he references it a couple times. I thought it was really cool how they wove that in.
Which makes me want to read that story as well.
You just want to read everything. It's one of the things I love about you. So, are you ready?
Oh, sorry. I love you too.
No.
I was just caught up with that.
I wasn't fishing. So what, if any, messages do you think were in this film?
Seize the day.
Seize the day. Carpe that diem.
Yeah. I think that's one of them. Like, seize the moment. Don't put off what you can do today, because you really don't know what's going to happen to you.
That's true. You could get psychic powers after being attacked by a milk truck.
You could. Also, like, it's kind of like do the right thing, no matter how hard it is. Oh. Or if it jeopardizes you, you should still do the right thing, even if you compromise yourself.
Greater good.
Yeah.
That's another interesting thing about this movie too, is like, there's the eternal like philosophical question of if you could go back in time and see Hitler when he was a baby or whatever, what would you do, kind of thing.
That's literally one of the questions that he poses to his doctor.
Yeah.
And so I think you have to, I think that his character is just trying to do what's right, no matter what. Yeah. Wow. Would you like to add to the messages? Because you always have like this philosophical.
Well, you were pretty philosophical in yours this time.
Thank you.
Yeah, I can tell you studied. You must have been inspired by the tutor. He's a tutor in this movie. So, the message in this one, I think, I think you're pretty dead on. Just, you never know when you're going to get psychic powers. Careful what you wish for? No, that's not it. Sorry, I'm just going for token ones now. I don't have anything better than you had. Sorry. So you defeated me.
Yes.
You defeated me.
I'm sitting a little taller now.
You should be. You should be very proud of yourself. Mm-hmm. Or I could just pull the card and go, there is no message. It's a Stephen King film. No. Stephen King films actually typically tend to have the message of like, man is going to destroy himself. Like that's a big theme for his work a lot of times.
I will say, like, we were talking about Stephen King, like film adaptations, and sometimes they can be really cheesy. This didn't come across as cheesy.
No, I don't think it was.
It was really sincere.
Yeah, totally. I would put it in the top 5. I'll just do a random number out there. Top 5 Stephen King adaptations.
Whoa. Have you seen 5 Stephen King?
Hands are raised in questions and disgust that you would insult me. Indignation right now. Yeah. Have you?
I don't know. So I've seen the first TV adaptation of The Stand.
Yes, that's a TV adaptation, but okay.
Right, that's true. What other Stephen King movies have I seen?
We literally listed one in this conversation.
I mean, The Dead Zone. Besides that?
Yes.
What else did we say?
Am I about to blow your mind right now?
I don't know. What did we say?
The Shining.
That's a Stephen King book. You're right.
Yes. You want to read that again too?
I am. My mind is blown. Whoa.
Just don't go comatose on me, okay?
Okay. Yes.
That's obviously the best, obviously, but.
Yeah, that's a good one. So
the Mist was really good too.
Mist,
did you see The Mist?
Right. I read The Mist.
Oh, you haven't seen The Mist? That's a new one. So that's going to be hard for me to. That's just going to be when I want to have fun and watch it. That one's really cool because everybody nerded out film wise. It's by the director of what's his name, Frank Darabont. I think if I remember right, is the last name. He did the first season of The Walking Dead and the adaptations that he directed that, and he filmed it in such a way. Apparently, I don't remember if this is true or not, or if it's just film nerds did it after. You watch the whole movie in black and white, and it looks really amazing. Really? Yeah. Wait. It's filmed in color. Okay. But you can, switch it if you use a digital player. Cool. Anyway, I nerd out about stuff like that. Yeah. Anyway.
That's why I love you.
Well, there you go. You're welcome. Okay. So, wow. I've had like 3 movies from this conversation I just added to the list. Not even including the one before we started recording, which is Look Who's Talking. Wow. Okay. All right. So the message of this film, you got that. Mine are just, Stephen King doesn't like politics. That's the message for me. Okay. So what? Wow. I'm thinking of my random question now.
Oh, okay.
So if you could choose between speaking like Christopher Walken and having his eyes, like his big eyes, right?
Okay.
Or
where is this going?
Having the Dead Zone ability, and you have to do them the rest of your life, obviously. Which would you pick?
Oof. Whoa. Mm-hmm. That's tough.
I know.
I'm going to pick the Dead Zone ability because I could help people.
You don't think you could help people with the talk and the eyes?
No. I think I'd do more good, with the dead zone ability.
Maybe.
What would you pick?
Can I pick both?
No.
Oh,
you always want to pick both, but you can't.
I do. I know. Well, you know what? I would pick the dead zone ability because I can always just impersonate him and just have my eyes really big.
There you go.
There you go.
Everybody wins.
Everybody wins. Did you have any questions for me? You read the book, so I want to leave the floor open in case you had questions for me about the viewing.
So your second viewing, you were like, oh, it's not as good as I remember.
Mm-hmm.
Can you expound on that? Or
it probably was just mood for me. It probably just happened to be, I may not have been in the mood for a slow-paced movie. I really like the TV show too. And it's super different from the TV show and the pacing and everything else. It's probably just that. It's the fact of I watched it before I saw the TV show, thought it was cool, watched the TV show, really liked the TV show, and then had the memory of Christopher Walken awesomeness. So it's just a combination of those things.
Yeah, the show was fun. I liked it.
Yeah. AMH was pretty awesome in that show. I think one of the things that struck me about this movie is it was so 80s.
Yeah.
Like the use of the telephone. You know what I mean? Like if you really want to feel what it was like to live in the 80s, I think this movie is a great, except for the whole psychic parts. This movie is a great, like, it just felt like what life was like back then.
Yeah. At one point, the girlfriend comes over with her baby and she gets out of the car and she walks around to the other side of the car and gets the baby from the front seat.
Front seat, yeah. And it's in one of those snowsuits where they look like the Maggie Star from The Simpsons. Yeah, it's good stuff.
Yeah. It is fun. I love that. I love seeing and remembering what that was like. That's
a total time capsule movie for those aspects, like, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Like, I would say if you're interested in the 80s in general, like, it's a great one to see that. Like a realistic portrayal of kind of what it was like, except for all the other stuff.
Yeah, not like... Yeah, it's like if they feel like real people in a real setting in a town. It feels very much like
they're really good at that.
A slice of life.
Totally. All right. Well, I peeked ahead to next week, and I dare say I'm also excited about this movie. The only hint I'm going to give you about this movie is it is a movie that I frequently quoted all throughout my life. Still do to this day. So anyway.
Okay, I'm going to guess Newsies.
You've seen Newsies. You've never seen Newsies! Are you kidding? Are you kidding me right now?
Okay, I think we've seen parts of it, but I don't think we've ever sat down and watched it since.
No, I've seen it.
I know.
You've never seen Newsies?
Not that I wanted to when I was a kid and it came out. I was like, oh, people my age dancing. This is amazing.
Wow.
But I never got to see it.
Guess what's going on the list? I think we set a record this time for how many movies I've written down. I can't believe you've not seen Newsies.
I know. I feel like
some
particular friends of ours are going to be really up.
Wow.
Like,
okay.
Out of their minds. Yeah.
I got to go after that.
I can't make any more guesses? Okay.
No, I mean, you can if you want.
I'll guess next week.
Okay. Wow. Okay. Well, till next week.
Okay. Adios.
Adios.
Pretty good, huh? Okay.
I want you to read The Legend of Sleepy Hollow. You're going to like it. It's about a school teacher who gets chased by a headless demon.
My destiny.
Let them come up.
This is not necessary, Mr. President. We have a diplomatic solution.
Mr. Vice President, Mr. Secretary, the missiles are flying. Hallelujah. Hallelujah.
Your daughter's screaming. Amy's screaming. It's not too late. Your daughter's screaming. Hurry up!
Is it true, Johnny? The papers won't let up about it.
I keep thinking about a line from a book. It's The Legend of Sleepy Hollow, the last thing I gave my class to read before the accident. Ichabod Crane disappears. The line goes, as he was a bachelor and in nobody's debt, nobody troubled their head about him anymore.
Is that what you're afraid of?
That's what I want.